They call it the Ghost Trail. On a Tuesday morning, it lives up to its name. No tourists, no screaming kids, no Bluetooth speakers, just you, the Douglas Fibs, and the sound of your own heart. Meet Elias, 27 years old, an architect who spends too much time staring at blueprints and not enough time breathing real air. He wanted a challenge. He wanted solitude. He got bored. One misplaced step on the rain-slicked route, and the silence of the woods was shattered by a sound no hiker ever wants to hear. The sound of bone meeting the limit of its tether. The pain wasn't immediate. First, there was the heat, a white, hot surge radiating from his right ankle. But when Elias looked down, the adrenaline turned to ice. His foot wasn't pointing forward anymore. It was canted at a sickening 45-degree angle. Elias was certainly capable, but at the moment he was humbled. The error he made was that he told no one that exactly which spur of the trail he was taking. The lifeline with him was an in-reach satellite communicator clipped to his shoulder strap. At 27, you feel invincible until you are crawling through dirt. Elias tried to stand, but his world went black at the edges. Cell service, zero. But Elias had one thing going for him. He was a pessimist. He had bagged a satellite phone. Enters Dr. Aris Thorne. He's a junior surgeon, barely 30, with 3 hours of sleep and a caffeine addiction. When the search and rescue call came in, the mountain medevac team needed a trauma specialist. Aris was the only one available who didn't get motion sickness. Finding a lone man in 5,000 acres of canopy is like looking for a needle in a haystack, if the needle was screaming. When the helicopter finally reached the emergency scene, Aris didn't see a patient. He saw a grade 3 lateral ankle sprain with a suspected talus shift. This wasn't just a twist. The ligaments were screaming. Just according to the protocol, Aris checks for PMS, pulse, motor and sensory function. He feels for the posterior tibial pulse. It's faint. The ceiling is pitting, meaning the tissue is already engorged with fluids. Dr. Aris Thorne performs a manual traction reduction. He tells Elias, "I need you to beat." He firmly grabs the heel and the forefoot, applying a steady, longitudinal pull to realign the joint. You hear a dull thud as the talus slides back into its cradle. The junior surgeon, Dr. Aris, then uses a splint to immobilize the joint. He works with the calm of a man folding a shirt. He administers a shot of ketorolac for de-inflammation. For the first time in 2 hours, Elias stops shaking. It's 12:45 p.m. The ghost trail is silent again. Inside the bird, the roar of the engines makes conversation impossible. But Aris gives Elias a thumbs up. 2 hours later, Elias is in a real bed. The X-rays confirm what Aris failed in the dirt. Torn anterior talofibular and calcaneofibular ligaments. No surgery needed, but a long road of physical therapy ahead. Why go alone? Elias asked himself that a lot during those 2 hours on the forest floor. The answer, he wanted to test himself. He just didn't realize the test would be graded by a junior surgeon in a hovering helicopter. Next time you head out on a Tuesday, remember, the woods don't care about your plans, but luckily, people like Dr. Aris do.